What's going on, brothers and Christ family? Happy Tuesday. Last week we talked a little bit of that dangerous downward spiral that kind of starts up here where we're believers, we're taking our faith seriously. We kind of get into that lukewarm mindset that kind of turns into some foolishness that leads down to just a complete lack of understanding. We want to avoid that spiral altogether. So last week I said that this week we would focus on how to maintain the believer mindset and really focus on being a believer all the time. And I want to give you kind of three reminders to do that. You know, there in verse 21 in Romans 1 that we talked about last week, it says, you know, these people, they knew God, but they no longer glorified him, and they focused on their own foolish ways. And, you know, I want us to make sure we can, you know, keep those words in perspective. They stopped glorifying God, or they did not glorify God. So, you know, first thing I want to prioritize when I'm focusing on being a believer, when I'm focusing on my faith, is glorify God. Number one, glorify God. Find ways to do that. That could be through the music you listen to. That could be through words that you write. It could be through whatever you're doing, art, business, whatever it is that you think of, an opportunity like sports or whatever might come to your head where you can glorify God. Do that. The second one that comes to my mind immediately is surround yourself with other believers. I've been blessed through my whole life to have a youth group, have family, have teammates that, you know, I could really lean on, and that being around other believers was so fruitful to me. So find some guys, whether they're in your friend group or not, find somebody that you know is a believer, that you know their faith is a priority to them, and be around them. That iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. This third one kind of makes me laugh because a friend of mine and I, we've been going through the book of John, and there's this verse in there where Jesus is talking to the people and who he knows, right? Like Jesus knows his people, he knows us, and he says, some of you, if you do not see miracles and wonders, you do not believe. And as soon as he says that, he heals someone and throws out another miracle. And, you know, I think as believers, you know, we know that God can do these things. We know that God is all powerful, but sometimes it helps us out if we can, you know, see some of those things. And, you know, that leads me back to prayer, right? Like whatever you ask for, you will receive. God works in mysterious ways. I know in my life, 100% of my prayers haven't been answered the way I thought they would be, or in the time that I thought they would be answered. But I mean, when I look back at like the notes I've taken on things I've prayed for, I've seen God answer an abundance of prayers. So, you know, the first thing I said was, you know, glorify God, surround yourself with other believers, and throw him some opportunities to impress you. Put some things down on your prayer list. Ask God for some things that only he could provide, and watch what he does, because God knows how our hearts are, and he knows that we want to hear and we want to see some of those beautiful miracles that only he can provide. And so I encourage you to give him that opportunity.